It's like every single time we have to record, something has to be scuffed.
know. Something has to happen, as is the way of independent podcasting. You're not Rusty Quill.
Please, are we gonna bring that up?
I feel like it's insane. The news. I was not expecting that article. The thing is, it's so, like, I've been seeing people from Magnus Archive Fandoms defend Rusty Quill with tooth and nail, and I'm like, what are you doing? You really trust them to give you the ending you want?
I mean, they didn't.
Do you? Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man.
Take it from me. I've been in that position. You're never gonna get the ending you want.
Okay, so for context, if you haven't been on Twitter or on podcast Twitter anyway, for the past
or
few...
you just don't keep up with, like, podcasts in general other than this one.
Yeah,
wow.
For the past few weeks, someone released a whole, like, article about how Rusty Quill has been, like, charging just, like, criminal prices for pretty much just hosting
Basic service.
Yeah.
In general.
They're not even the ones hosting the podcasts that are being produced by other people. They're just, like, releasing it. You know how Netflix doesn't really produce anything? They just release stuff. So, yeah, that's what Rusty Quill is supposed to be doing. They're paying another podcast, like, hosting service. And you're, like, if you're a producer who like, wants to be released by Rusty Quill, you're gonna be paying that hosting service and then them. And then you get, like, a shitty price, I guess. Which is, like, a normal thing in a lot of podcasting stuff. The
rates?
The whole article just, like, released what the rates were and, like, I guess sample contracts is what people said. There's a whole, like, exposing the whole article as well, where they were talking about how someone's marketing director was the one who was releasing this article.
Fable and Follies, I believe.
Yeah.
Which, I don't get that argument, because it didn't read like a smear campaign at all.
Yeah.
It read like, these are the facts that we know of, and that we have learned.
I mean,
from past
I do get
employees.
some of the criticisms of that article, saying that it does read a bit like a Tumblr call-out post. That is very, very true. There are kind of sensationalist statements in there. But, all in all, it's a pretty factual article for an article that has almost all anonymous sources.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. There's something about it. I'm like, yeah, no, this seems accurate based on what I know about Rusty Quill.
Yeah.
In general, like, from what I knew about Rusty Quill, there was the whole transcript issue being behind a paywall and all that shit.
And everyone, like, I mean, there's a lot of, like, fans of specifically just the Magnus Archive defending Rusty Quill in this sense, which, like, on all sides of it, it doesn't really make sense for why you're supposed to be, like, defending this company just because you like one of their products.
Just one.
Just the one.
It's like saying that the CW is good because you like a certain show.
When in fact it is not.
That's not even about, but, like, I heard that argument from people being like, oh, CW is not a bad network. No, it is. It is.
It's the same with people liking Netflix when, in fact, Netflix has done some horrendous shit. And everyone, like, routinely forgets all the bullshit Netflix has put, like, producers and, like, storytellers through within the years. So it's like, you don't have a full story, you definitely should not be defending companies with your whole chest.
Nope. I don't think you should be defending companies.
At all.
At all. So...
They have marketing teams for that. Literally leave them alone. But yeah, that's the tea, babies.
We say this as one podcaster with a shaved head and another with blue hair and pronouns.
Please, just don't defend companies ever, period.
They are not your friends.
Piracy is hereditary. Be gay, do crime, real.
So what are we talking about today, SJ? Because it's certainly not podcast network standards and practices.
No, definitely it is not. This is more of the light side of December 2022. I'm just...
It's been a rough year
It
for
has
everyone.
definitely been, like, a rough year. Like, right now, I am sick. So that's the line I am drawing on the sand. I missed, like, a couple deadlines just because I was sick.
I was sick, I think, a week and a half ago.
Oh my goodness.
I was, like, I had this, like, horrible cold.
After the convention?
I had, like, a scratch. And I was like, maybe I have COVID, and I'm like, nope, I have no other symptoms. I guess I just have a cold.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of highlights of 2022, December, as I mentioned, there was a convention. Gab was at a convention. Gab tabled at a convention.
Yes. So this is the first episode where we have officially met in person. We've made sure that we're actually
We're not
people.
catfishing each other.
Yeah.
We are actual real people. Wow.
And it was funny because the way it happened was I was messaging SJ and our friend Stess, and I was like, "Where are you guys? You guys are coming, right?" And I was like, and then I heard SJ speak, and I was like,
"Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!"
See, okay, this is what happened, right? I was like, "Can we just keep this a secret from Gab?"
So rude.
Yeah, maybe we should like surprise Gab. We should just order from Gab's booth, and then Gab is gonna be like, "Wait a sec."
Wait a minute.
And then I was like, wait, but wouldn't Gab recognize you? And then Stess was like, no, but Gab would recognize your voice first. And I was like, are you fucking sure about that? You've met up with Gab first. Like, literally, the two of you have seen each other eye to eye during Pride.
I feel like, SJ, you severely underestimated how many people are coming through Comic-Con that day.
Goodness.
So unless, like, someone was calling my attention, I'd be like, oh, hi. Thanks for this, and then my facial recognition would not kick in properly.
I didn't really know how many people were gonna turn out, especially since like it's been like a few years of everyone staying at home with like with a pandemic. So it's like
Comic-Con was wild. There's so many people.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I didn't come down with something after Comic-Con. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Gab and I met up with Stess. Stess was there too.
And we met technically I met our other podcast-loving friends.
Yeah.
On the different days at different
It's so
times.
sad. We couldn't meet up together.
It was really funny to me because I'd be like chilling and then, oh, Jules is here!
Oh my goodness.
Trisha?
I'm so sad we couldn't meet up at the same time.
No, and it was like, it was really funny because we were all complete, and I was like, you know, they didn't coordinate.
None of us coordinated at all.
Heartstopper and Fleabag sold out so quickly. I was like, okay.
Gay people are real.
Printing more, okay.
Wow.
And surprisingly, I only had like 3. I think I only have like 3 left of the Matrix.
Did you make bread?
I make bread. I made back my money.
Hell yeah! Congratulations, Gab. You are now
Thank
a
you.
few pesos richer than you were before the convention.
Yeah. I might be doing it again in June.
Let's go! Pride Month, baby!
Yes, and me and my friend, we have a theme for our booth, and we're planning to dress up. I'm not telling you who, because it's gonna be a fun surprise.
Okay.
But like, I'm so excited.
This is another Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's another Comic-Con.
Gab being a merch artist, real.
Oh my god. Brimstone Valley Mall, you're still looking for that merch?
Still marketing, huh? I see.
Yeah.
I respect. This entire 20 minutes of us just like talking about the convention. Listen, it was a happy moment in our lives.
It was insane. It was honestly, this comic, I'm like, damn, I know so many people.
I know more than 5 people, question mark.
Yeah. Yes. That generally was me. I forgot to tell you, one of the prints I got was an Everything Everywhere All at Once print, which
Ooh. Oh my god, and then the review came out. You know that white lady who reviewed Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No,
that
what?
went around? They were talking about how Everything Everywhere All at Once was pretty much saying something about how Evelyn and Jobu's character characters were like advertising that you should forgive the people who have wronged you in your life, especially your family, because they're family, etc., or something like that, and that they were tax evading or something like that, and that you're supposed to feel bad because they were tax evading, and then the IRS was the evil mean person, and they made Jamie Lee Curtis like look like that or something like that. And so, I remember someone responding with like a link of Jamie Lee Curtis who was like, I specifically appeared like that because I wanted to.
I don't think anyone can force Jamie Lee Curtis
exactly
to do anything. But like, well, tax evasion isn't necessarily bad if you
can't pay it.
Really do need the money. So I don't understand. That's not even the message of the movie? The message of the movie is to embrace the chaos because nothing matters, but because nothing matters, then you should love and care fiercely for the people you love and choose to be kind.
Yeah, it's definitely like a bad faith reading of the movie itself. Because two of the main characters are kind of bitchy women, and specifically because like it's specifically about how Joy like literally hopped universes just to look for a universe where she can relate to her mom and her mom can relate to her. And
I think that
it definitely was like coming across like, well, it didn't really matter because like no matter what universe, we're still going to be different. Like, we're still going to have different views. And that's kind of, like, the root of the nothing matters. Yeah. But you love her. You love her so much that you hopped universes. That's kind of the point of the movie itself.
You loved her so much that you went searching throughout the whole universe, hoping that you could find your mom.
Yeah.
And I saw that Tumblr post, and I sat there, and I was like, damn.
Exactly. Speaking of moms...
God.
I'm tying it directly in.
Yes.
We are forgetting White Lady who reviewed EAO like a stupid person. And we're gonna be talking about Amy Adams' breakout film.
Amy Adams' Oscar nomination for these movies. When?
Enchanted and Disenchanted. Man. My goodness. They had weaker lyrics in the second film, I'm not gonna lie.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, it's still the same musicals. The people like in charge of the music stuff. First one was directed by Kevin Lima, and Disenchanted.
Like the Bean?
Was
Wait,
was it different?
Like the Bean. No, like Lima, Lima, like the lima bean.
Yes.
But pronounced Lima.
Lima, like 5. That is your Filipino lessons with SJ. Thank you very much. Yeah, they changed directors.
I like how that's where your brain went, and I was like
Lima.
The bean.
These films literally just like shaped an entire generation.
Honestly, Enchanted was iconic.
Yeah.
Whenever it came on Disney Channel or just in cable in general, I would sit down and watch it
start to finish,
all the way through, every time.
It just never fails.
There's just something about it.
And
it's like
misses.
And I was like, what if it doesn't hold up? When we were watching it again, I was like, no,
it still holds up.
It still holds up. It's still
there are moments.
There are like the fat shaming moments with what's his name, the henchman,
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, thank you.
What's his name again?
And there is the ugly dress in the ball that we don't like.
My sister keeps defending that one. I was like, nah.
I can't.
The only like valid defense that you'll have for that is that she was dressed up by a 9-year-old. That's it.
Yes, that's it.
Morgan.
That's the only defense.
Morgan was raised a feminist, not a fashionista.
Sorry, that's taking me out. But but it's good that the music and the chemistry is so good in that scene that it will distract you from the ugly dress. Because every time So Close comes on, I'm like, I'm not gonna get emotional.
The lumpia dress.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna listen to the lyrics. It's not gonna make me emotional
No.
about the way they're looking at each other. And I'm like, no.
The funny thing is, every single time Stess and I would rewatch that film, I will see both you and Stess, like, posting stories of it on Instagram. Specifically of that scene. Every single time. We rewatched it in the Reverse AU server once. That was like the first time we rewatched it. This was before Disenchanted even came out. And when Disenchanted came out, we rewatched it before rewatching Disenchanted.
Yes.
Literally for Stess. And it was so funny that, like, as always, I would see Instagram stories of that scene specifically. Consistency.
That scene shakes fist at the sky. Like, listen, I am a very grumpy person and I don't pride myself on being a sap, but there's something about, like, romantic scenes in Enchanted and in Cinderella, like the Lily James Cinderella, that me and Stess are both, like,
Exactly.
shaking fists in the sky. You know, in Cinderella, it's the will you take me as I am? A lonely, a little country girl who loves you, and, like, an apprentice learning his trade. And both me and Stas go, ah! Just
The ball
shaking.
scene, like, the ball scenes always get you too. It's always those scenes.
I think Stas and I really just like balls. Well, we don't like, like, dance balls. Stas is a lesbian.
Yes, I know. Different kind of balls. Listen.
No, for me, like, when I think ball, my brain goes like, oh, it's Pride and Prejudice. It's
Oh my goodness.
freaking Kate and Anthony dancing on my own in Bridgerton and feeling. And I remember when that Bridgerton scene came out, and I was like, Jesus Christ, not another one to look at and be filled with yearning.
I don't know. When was the first time you watched Enchanted?
I was a kid. Like, I remember when the movie came out, because I remember seeing trailers for it on Disney Channel, being like, oh, this is interesting. And then I remember watching the premiere on Disney Channel. Like, Disney Channel used to do, like, a countdown, like a 30-minute or, like, 1-hour countdown to, like, Enchanted premiering in, like, 30 minutes. And I remember I was like, oh, this is funny. I liked it, because when I was younger, I was, like, very snarky. I say that as if I'm not snarky now. But, like, I was like, I like Robert. I think it's fun that he's not singing along to the musical.
I like that he's kind of a cynic.
Yes.
I don't remember if that was also how I watched it the first time, or if it was, like, another pirated thing.
It could be a pirated, because we also have the pirated DVD.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm kind of blanking out where I started, like, where the first time it was that I watched this movie. But like,
yeah, I'm for sure the first time I watched the movie was on Disney Channel, and was during the premiere, because I remember seeing all the previews for it when I was watching, like, I guess Hannah Montana or Sweet Life with Zack and Cody, and I was like, oh, there's a movie.
I wasn't even, like, initially interested with the film to begin with, because that was my princesses aren't cool phase. So yeah, so it wasn't really that appealing to me. I guess right up until the whole gag of, like, oh, musicals are kind of weird in this world. When they break into song, it's kind of funny, because there's this one straight guy who was just like, I'm not going along with this. I
don't dance. I don't sing.
There's a kind of, like, enticing you into the whimsy that's kind of really fun to it. But initially that wasn't really my cup of tea. I guess it got a little better the more mature I got, specifically because, like, whimsy is it's a genuine emotion that you cannot tap into when you're an angsty teenager. When you grow up, you're like, I need more of that in my life.
It's funny, because when we think about it, all our childhoods are, like, whimsical and, like, filled with adventure, and then there's, like, this middle part where we're like, nothing is fun. Everything has to be, like, super serious
Reality
all the
is
time.
pain. I was sorry. That's a Scaramouche line. I'm sorry.
My life is a mess, and I'm so grown up. I'm too grown up for Disney movies and all that crap.
Yeah.
And then when you're like in your early 20s, you're like, let's watch Enchanted again.
Yeah. It's funny too that you brought up Cinderella 2015 earlier, because Enchanted, along with like Cinderella 2015 and A School for Good and Evil, which is another like whimsy and like really campy kind of movie that you don't really expect. Those are the kind of films that like my family and I would like switch the channel to and then like find ourselves unable to look away until it finishes. It's kind of like it's kind of like a bystander kind of effect where we just like watch the train wreck happen. It's fascinating that it happens every single time with those kinds of movies too.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. And we don't really expect it to be entertaining until we finish it and we realize that we're enjoying it. But yeah, it's those kinds of movies that we didn't really expect ourselves to be invested in until we watch it the first time and then we keep repeating it. It keeps going.
Yeah.
It's specifically those three films. My dad has this weird thing where he will channel surf until he finds Cinderella 2015, and he stops there for the entire time.
That's the power of Lily James.
And I'm just like, you finishing that again? It's his Mamma Mia.
Don't judge your dad.
It's so funny though, because he would sit down and watch it over and over again.
It's a good movie.
The genres this man watches is so, like, mind-numbing. He will watch, like, a bunch of, like, stupid B-list, like, action movies, and he will genuinely enjoy them more than, like, something like Everything Everywhere All at Once. So when
That's
he
fair.
sits down and watches something that is inherently campy and funny, it's so amusing to me. So every single time.
And he watches it every time.
Yeah, he sits through all of it.
The power.
Maybe I should let him sit through another, like, rewatch of Mamma Mia. I feel like that should happen at some point.
Yes. You should introduce him to Mamma Mia too and be like, that's the girl who plays Cinderella.
The funny thing is, I sometimes, not sometimes, like the last time when my sister came down, I guess specifically pre-Christmas, coming down to the provinces. This is the province. We are in the province. We like turned on the karaoke machine specifically just to like have fun. I think I was the only one like punching in ABBA songs, and my dad was like, "How do you know ABBA songs?" And I was like, "Mamma Mia, dude."
Also, my friend does not shut up.
Yeah.
It's so whenever Enchanted is on somewhere or like someone's like, let's watch Enchanted, I will never say no. There's just something about the first scene, well, not the first scene, but like the first scene in the city, where she's just running around, just tripping over New Yorkers and panicking like, and then like she gets stuck in the manhole and everything, and then she's pounding in the rain.
It is like there is an appeal to it specifically when you're like Stess, who really likes fashion specifically.
Yes, of course.
Where when she comes out of that manhole with like the big puffy sleeves, it
so
evokes
good.
Like the silhouette of like Filipino
good.
Filipino dresses. It's just really good.
I love her like failed wedding dress. It's one of my favorite outfits that she wears in the first movie. But it's like there's something about the whimsy meeting the cynicalness of a big. I guess that's a word. The cynical nature of like a big city, which is always like people are pretty apathetic if you're walking quickly, or like because everyone has to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the traffic is bad. I'm just describing Manila. I know, but like. It's just the joy of like the fairy tale meeting the everyday, and it's like the fairy tale behaviors are strange.
Yeah, Enchanted actually set the ball rolling for a lot of like Disney's attempts at like trying to poke at that
Yeah.
specific beehive again, because after Enchanted came out, it was just
they never really captured it.
yeah,
again,
they never got another really good like rom-com going on in any of their Disney movies after that. They tried with Frozen. I know specifically that was the thing that they were going for with the whole you can't just marry someone you just met thing with like Kristoff. Which by the way, Kristen Bell. Anyway. Anyway. But yeah, they couldn't really come up with another like sweet couple after that. I guess because they were moving past sweet couples.
I think
I mean, after
but like
Cinderella
they
2015,
set the bar so high.
you can't go above.
Yeah. I think that's the So Close by John McLaughlin.
Yeah, you can't go above Robert and Giselle.
You can't. You can't. Like I guess Cinderella and what's his name? Cinderella and Kit.
Mm-hmm.
Ella and Kit come close, but like that's a different flavor. It's like a different variant of thing. It's just you gotta nail it down. Like Cinderella 2015 is the last one that I do remember being like, oh, this is a couple that I buy into.
You will hate me for saying this. Well, no, not really. You won't. My sister will. Like, she will hate me for saying this, but like,
what?
This was something that Shrek did. This is literally a thing that Shrek did.
Why would I disagree with that? I think Shrek is great.
No, my sister will disagree with me because she's just like, are you fucking kidding me? But, because it's like, Shrek kind of like just set the ball rolling for that whole like,
modern meets the fairy tale that...
Well, apart from that, mostly the deconstructing like the Disney formula fairy tale kind of thing, which I guess was what they were trying to do with Enchanted. Because Andalasia is a very whimsical Disney princess kind of like
it's
vibe.
literally in 2D animation.
Yeah, it's the original Disney, and they kind of were just like doing this as what do you call it? A coming of age for Disney. Which is funny because like this was one of their supposedly flop movies. They didn't really invest much into this one.
It's really funny too because it's one of the last instances of Disney using 2D animation before it got retired for God knows how many years. So I remember the recent one that came out. Well, not really recent, but like the last Disney movie recently that used 2D was Mary Poppins Returns.
Disenchanted.
It was Disenchanted. Sequel, which is also a legacy sequel.
Yeah. They can't revive old Disney because old Disney, I don't even know what old Disney was appealing to, but it definitely is not what it is appealing to now. Because after
I'm gonna be real, I'm tired of 3D animation.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that I'm willing to let slide is I love stop motion, I love Henry Selick, and I love the Del Toro style of animation. I can't...
Isn't Spider-Verse 3D?
3D, it's a mix of 3D and 2D, technically.
So it's like mixed media.
Yeah, I like that as well, because I like mixed media, but like the straight up, I guess DreamWorks would be the pioneer of 3D. Like, I'm kind of getting burnt out of it. Like, it's so hard to do, and I have immense respect for everyone doing it, but I'm also kind of burnt out, and I do wish more people did stuff like Cartoon Saloon, who did Song of the Sea, and oh my god, I'm gonna kick myself because I can't remember the name right now.
Secret of Kells?
Yes,
the
Secret
wolf one too, right? The
Wolfwalkers, there we go.
There's a new one. I don't know if it's a Cartoon Saloon. I think it's the same studio who did The Breadwinner, if I remember correctly.
Ooh, that's interesting. I really do like that.
There was a dragon in it, so I feel like you'd like it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's called My Father's Dragon.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, that's on my list in Netflix because I was like, dragon. I love
dragons.
Dragons.
I feel like
oh my God.
I can give DreamWorks a pass for the 3D.
No, yeah. I agree.
Disney has just like an immense amount of like same facing that I just hate.
Yeah, that's my thing. My thing with like recent Disney 3D releases, that are, I guess Pixar is more likely. I feel like they're kind of like falling flat. I think the one that I really liked recently was Turning Red. That was the closest that I was like, oh,
they have unique designs.
Yeah, and they have unique designs, and the songs are like catchy, like Never Not on Your Side.
They are doing
your side.
They are doing a more step towards mimicking Spider-Verse's style. This is something I've noticed a lot in like more recent like 3D films.
Disney is letting people step outside of the Disney-fied Disney round head, big eyes mold because they saw how well stylization worked for Spider-Verse, and I'm like, thank you Spider-Verse, but also Disney.
Yeah,
please,
like find some originality.
Yeah.
Literally go back to 2D. You guys like pioneered that shit.
Pioneered 2D, and then you're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. But like, yeah. I think that's what's refreshing about seeing the 2D animation again in Disenchanted. You're like, oh, I miss it.
It is a little clunky.
It's more clunky now.
Yeah.
It is more clunky now than it was in the original. And I do not blame the animators at all, because like I assume they're probably not as used to 2D anymore.
Yeah.
Given what Disney wants them to do. But I was like, it was still nice to look at. I'm like, oh, I really do miss this style of animation and seeing it more often. Because even children's shows nowadays are mostly 3D animated because it's, I guess, cheaper to make. Because assets exist and all that. But yeah. But like, can we talk about like the cast of Enchanted? Like, you got Amy Adams, you got Patrick Dempsey, James Marsden, Susan Sarandon.
I know. She stole the show for Enchanted.
I think that's what I was missing with Disenchanted mildly, because they didn't give enough time to the villain.
Maya Rudolph was just kind of... Ugh.
I needed more for the villain. But like, Susan Sarandon in the first one, you're like, you've got the voice, you've got the fashion.
Feel like they... Like, Maya Rudolph was amazing. She was great in her role as Malvina. Specifically, like, during that, like, one segment with Amy Adams, that was just so perfect.
Oh, batter. The best song in that
Jeanette has that song, like, memorized back to front.
It's so good. Like, the part is like, my hair is more higher.
Oh my god.
Something like that. It's so good. I remember when we were watching it, SJ, and we both were like...
Yeah, we were just gasping the entire time. All the love for Maya Rudolph, but like, I feel like she was definitely miscast for that.
I feel like she was shortchanged in terms of the script. Because listen, I love a good romance, but did we really need the romance between her kid and...
what's his name? Fucking Troy or something?
Yeah, Troy and
Morgan?
What's Morgan? I don't think we needed that. Like, when we were doing those parts, I was like, okay, I can go to the bathroom during the Troy. Like, no offense, like, it's nothing against the actors, but like, the script for them was not it.
Yeah.
You can't have that kind of like lackluster romance next to Giselle.
Exactly.
And Robert, you're gonna have that, and that's another thing that I feel like we lacked enough. Like, we lacked in Disenchanted. Like, not enough Robert and Giselle.
No, I kind of respected that they stepped away from Giselle and Robert, specifically because like we're done with that. We're like we already did like how they fell in love. This is how they're living their life now. I do love the more like I do think that like the rest of the men in this film kind of just like took a step back, specifically because the movie is about it's about Morgan and Giselle specifically, which is just so good.
it's about the relationship between a mother and her eldest daughter.
Yeah. You, like, throughout the film, you were like, oh, she's gonna have issues about this. You were plotting out her therapy sessions in advance. It was so funny.
I remember, like, the part that really got me was the one they're gonna give, like, this magic wishing wand to the baby. And I'm like, there's, like, a fully grown
teenager.
Human being. Yeah. Like, a teenager. Like, a wishing wand would probably be helpful, but it wouldn't be smart to give it to her, but it would probably be helpful. And they're like, only a true daughter of Andalasia.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, bitch. I'm like, that's gonna give her a complex.
Meanwhile, I was like, oh, that's gonna be important later on.
You were like, here's this for the plot, and I'm like, oh,
This
my
is
God,
what's
Morgan.
This is what's gonna be the plot twist. Something is going to happen, and it's gonna turn out that she's the true Andalasian daughter.
Yeah, you were like plotting out like the plot of the movie, and I was like, oh, Morgan.
And then when it came, I was like, I fucking knew it! You can't let me sit through movies ever again. I am an embarrassment to society.
It's fine. The thing is, I do respect that the boys took a step back, but also
James Marsden.
word.
Every single time that man opens his mouth, I swear to God.
I love him. I would like a dumb little TV show of even just him. Cause Giselle and Morgan, they're kind of good now. Or actually, they could cameo and I wouldn't even be mad.
God, okay. And this is something a lot of people pointed out, specifically the fans of Enchanted. When this Enchanted came out, like, a lot of people were, like, super disappointed because it wasn't, like living up to the hype of what the first movie was, which just... You're coming into this with the wrong expectations, besties. But, like, the funny thing about that is that, they had Idina Menzel in the cast of the first film. They did not let her sing a single song.
And it was, like, Idina Menzel Wicked
Exactly.
era.
And then, like, a few years later, 4 years after Enchanted came out, they had Disney's Frozen. So... They did know that Idina Menzel was a powerhouse. She could sing. Why the fuck did they not let her sing? Maybe Idina Menzel actually asked for it. Maybe she didn't want to sing in a musical.
Yeah. Maybe she was like, I'm so tired from Wicked. Can we not?
I do this shit like 7 times a week. Please, can we not?
I would have loved like a full-on just... What's Nancy and Giselle do it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's something that I missed. Like, I would have loved that.
That would have been a good angle for what the film was going for.
No, especially, the scene where, like, they're talking about Morgan being a teenager.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have, like, that moment of them bonding. Because now they're friends, they're good.
Yeah. Disney doesn't know how to write a relationship between 2 women that isn't going to end up into a rivalry somehow.
Or romance.
Well,
Oh, sorry, Disney.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. But my one gripe is not enough Edward, but I think I just really like Edward. I think he's dumb. I think he's fun.
We know. We know, Gab.
Me picking up every single himbo and every media going, I like him.
Every time he opens his mouth, I am just reminded of Tamaki Suo from fucking Ward High School Host Club. He's just like, oh, is this how peasants live? Oh my goodness.
Oh, are you poor now?
Oh, you're poor now. King?
It's so funny.
What the fuck?
It's so funny.
He walks up in the end of the movie. He walks up. Your tiny peasants are fierce, and I'm like, those are children. Have you never seen a child in your life?
No, because children don't really exist in fairy tales unless they're babies or they're like separate human beings that don't have parents.
Goodness. Like Giselle, like an orphan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. I do love that they tapped into like what was supposed to be Giselle's backstory and was kind of like a static thing in the first film.
Yeah,
she had that
really
whole
good
bonding scene with Morgan at the hair salon before the ball scene, where they were talking about what like.
Oh, I never knew my mother.
Yeah, Morgan was like kind of sad that like I guess this is what daughters are supposed to do with their moms or something like that, but she doesn't.
And
really
they both don't know how.
Yeah,
because they both hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Sorry. it's so, yeah, when I think about, like, the Morgan-Giselle relationship, Banana's bonkers. Banana's bonkers.
It is just, like, all about moms.
It's all about moms.
That's the
trauma of eldest daughters.
It's the untapped resource that Disney has not touched into. They tried. They did one thing. Correct. I mean, I guess two now that Disenchanted came out. But, like, Maleficent and Disenchanted were, like, steps in the right direction.
You're forgetting Turning Red.
I mean, I haven't watched Turning Red, so I feel like that's on me. I've seen snippets, but I just cannot. I cannot not this again. There's, like, I think it's because, like, it came out so close to when Encanto came out that I was just like,
oh,
I can't do this right now. Because white people were just...
In case my opinion wasn't clear to everyone, Turning Red is superior to Encanto. Thank you.
But yeah, no, when Encanto came out, and Turning Red came out after that, a lot of people were like, oh wow, we're really digging into generational trauma now. And I was just like, yeah, we are, because a lot of people are traumatized, I guess. It's so weird that a lot of stories about generational trauma.
This is a new concept to some people? Wow.
And then, I guess I just got so... I don't, like, pun not intended, I was just, like, so disenchanted by 3D, like, kids movies that I just did not touch Turning Red. Especially with, like, the whole, like, bullshit that was going on with, like, the Encanto fandom, which... we're not touching that.
Okay. Going back. I do think that I kind of missed more of Robert's cynicism in the second movie, because he was transformed into, like, I'm gonna do this, like a pale. Sorry,
he was
to
Edward
Patrick
2.0.
Sorry to Patrick Dempsey. You gotta give me more.
He was a little fruity.
I needed more. If you were gonna take Edward's, like, role as, like, the fairy tale style prince, give me more. Camp it up. James Marsden did not do all that in the first movie, like stab a bus, for you to not go full out. Come on, McDreamy.
Again, I mean, it is because they let the man have the, like, take the back seat for that one. They did give him, like, the one scene with, like, the giant and, like, saving the kid. And that kind of opened his eyes from the fantasy.
Like, his arc is realizing he doesn't want to commute.
Exactly! Exactly! Like, there is literally no character development.
Ayaw ni Robert magangkas.
I mean, okay, this is such a gripe. Like, I don't want to, like, I guess, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to invalidate New Yorkers or something like that. But the fucking train that the Patrick Dempsey was, like,
it's
on,
a nice train.
It is a nice train. You want to see a shitty train? Go to fucking Manila.
No, I was about to say, y'all would not survive the commuting situation in Manila.
Watch the trailer for 13. That's the normal Sunday afternoon.
No, you know what? You know what really surprised me about the trailer? Like, something happened and they all got off. I'm like, you know what? Some people would stay on.
They just wait for hours.
Like, something could be attacking and be like, I want to go home.
Ayaw lumabas ng tren kasi aircon.
Exactly.
But yeah, he hates having to commute to the city from the suburb.
In this very nice train.
Exactly.
Where he can sit down.
The one thing I respect from Robert's character, he did not immediately go, we need a car.
Oh, good, yes.
They did not get a car, which is good. I appreciate that. Don't get a car. Just take the commute. Take the L.
I do like the little moments that Edward and Robert had, like, you need a sword. Here's my sword. Like, no, King, I don't need a sword.
That's our dynamic.
It's me going, SJ, I need a sword. And
you really don't.
No, but I do need a sword, SJ.
Oh, are you cosplaying Kaya for real now?
You know what? I have the eye patch and I have the blue hair.
You have the pro. Oh, I'm kidding.
Oh God. Oh. God.
Oh, good lord. The allegations.
I can't escape some of these allegations.
I think the thing with Enchanted that really, like, gave us brain rot, like, all three of us, you, me, and Stess, it's just
I think
like,
our whole friend group in general.
it's just such a Filipino movie. I'm not gonna lie. It has everything. The camp,
Yes.
the stupid bullshit, the whimsy. That's something that Filipino movies, like, have in spades. But, like, the only thing that is missing is,
Adultery.
No, it had adultery. Are you kidding me?
Oh, right. Yes. Technically, yes.
That took me out, though. No. The only thing it doesn't have would probably be fucking Vic Soto, so...
No, you know what? That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win. I think that's, like, one of, like, the only things that really attracted us. Like, you have the musicals, you have the like... I guess it's the production quality...
And also, I think
the lack of Vic
I
Soto.
think the thing is, I feel like when people look at Enchanted, they have to remember like the filmmaking trends in the early 2000s are not the filmmaking trends
Today.
in the today. Yes, exactly. So it's never going to be exactly like it was in the 2000s, which I think everyone is nostalgic for right now. And I agree. I'm also nostalgic for like early 2000s movies sometimes, but like I don't hold the movies now to that standard because it was a different time.
Yeah.
People filmed things differently.
Yeah, like in that one scene in the law firm when the clients come out and like Giselle just straight up touches the lady's hair. That was just like Stess was just like, girl, why would you do that? You have such pretty hair. Why are you touching it?
No. You don't do that. No, Giselle.
All three of us just like cringe internally. There are some
God.
moments in Enchanted that do not date well. It does not age well. So yeah.
The thing about like they still ate the pizza that the chipmunk
Was in?
has been running
Yeah.
throughout New York.
Oh,
They still ate it.
Lord.
I'm like, no. Oh my god. You know what? Every time we watch Enchanted and like my mom will walk by, she can't watch the scene with the cleaning because of the cockroaches. Because it's so gross to her. Like
It's so
it is
funny,
gross
though.
for me. It's just I'm just like, eat peas.
It is so funny though. What was the one that's got the Stess specifically this time was when she like nuzzled the rat.
Yeah, oh god.
That was so funny.
All of us going, ew! Don't do that! Girly! Leptospirosis!
That doesn't exist in Andalusia. They should have just moved to Andalusia when COVID happened.
Yeah.
Things you'll never expect coming out of my mouth. Anyway, we should move to Andalusia.
I was really upset in Disenchanted when I thought Edward would die, because I was like, no!
I know.
Don't you dare!
Gab was literally shouting in my ear.
You were so concerned about Giselle. I was like, wait! Because I was like, logically, I was like, Giselle's gonna be fine. It's a Disney movie. They wouldn't dare.
She was
kill
literally
Amy
fading away. I
Adams.
was like, they won't.
But
They fucking won't. They won't. Like, me threatening them.
I was like, they wouldn't. They wouldn't kill Amy Adams. However, James Marsden is not that lucky. I was like, no.
Nah. You'll be fine.
I was like, you can't get rid of Edward. I do love his greeting in the start of the movie. He's like, Robert, or something.
Who
like
was it? I don't think anyone kind of
It's so
questioned that
dumb.
when the Andalusians started fading away. Like, would Giselle's baby be part of the people fading away since she's part Andalusian?
I I don't think. So the horrible image in my brain is just like half the baby.
Oh no. What kind of King Solomon bullshit?
Exactly.
What the hell? Merry Christmas, everyone.
Like the image in my brain is like half the baby fading away.
Oh my
That's like-
goodness. This is the enchanted version of the Thanos snap.
Oh my god.
Perfectly balanced. That's all.
It's so stupid. I guess maybe not. Maybe like because the baby wasn't born in Andalusia, I guess. But like then I don't know. I
She's
don't
half
know, but the
Andalusian.
baby- Yeah. I don't know.
She's a true Andalusian goddaughter. As the song went.
No, I have no idea. Maybe she would.
Oh god. Good thing it didn't happen, huh?
A good thing the baby was.
Good thing it
out
was
of the
all just a
movie.
dream. Oh man.
I do the part where like Morgan's clothes get burned, even though she was like freaking out. She was like more chill than I would ever be if all my clothes got burned.
I
She's
mean,
just like,
aren't they like rich though?
yeah, but like, girl, if I've been collecting clothes,
I guess.
well, she's not a fashionista. It's fine.
That's the weird thing about what came into when she was coming to school, like the first time, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Where she didn't have any other clothes because like Robert spilled coffee on her. And like Giselle gave her a few of her clothes, but like I'm just like, don't you own a fashion line? Don't you have any better dresses, girl? That was the one gripe I had. Like, I was just like, the immersion is not immersing.
Also, she could have totally just like, doesn't your dad have more than one outfit? Why not like borrow a jacket and
Why
throw
can't you
it
like,
over the dress?
I don't know, cut out like a few curtains like you used to?
Oh, that would have been so good,
Right? It would have been a
though.
good callback.
Oh, that would have been great. I would have liked that more if like Giselle was like, "Oh, I know what we can do,"
Yeah.
and then cut up
Especially-
the curtains again. That would have been so good.
Especially
I would have loved
since
that.
Morgan specifically is just like, she really is into that whimsy. She just doesn't appreciate it when her mom starts getting a little hovery.
That would have been a like nice bonding moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have liked that.
They should have had
Damn.
in the writer's room. I say this every single episode. Should I have in the writer's room? Nah.
It's so yeah, that would have been great.
It would have been a good callback.
You know what I want? I kind of want now, like, I want like a mini series of Edward just in the modern day discovering things.
They come over every Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes.
He's just
Oh,
like,
dude,
what is
holiday
Thanksgiving? Why are we
specials.
giving thanks?
And then he's just like, oh, so you conquered them, and now you're celebrating conquering them.
Right on, dude. Morgan is just like, yeah, that's what happened.
He's like, but conquering them is bad.
Is it? Literally, he's a king. He has a kingdom. He has, like,
Yeah, but
you'd assume he has an empire or something like that.
I don't think he has an empire. I think they're all busy in their little kingdoms doing. I don't think they do many conquering things.
But he has peasants, TM.
He has peasants TM.
It's weird to give that, like, idea of, like, I guess it's because it's Andalusian, you're not supposed to, like, add weird modern day politics to it, but at the same time the implications are implicating, you know? You can't really erase it. You can't escape the allegations, King Edward.
Yes.
The way that after the film
I
started
do-
like you started looking at Prince Edward, and then you were like, not the real Prince Edward.
It's like, I don't want like the British one.
I I want James Marsden.
I want James Marsden. I want the one with the giant shoulder poofs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the giant shoulder poofs. I do love them. We haven't even talked about the costumes in Disenchanted. Because when number one, sorry, Amy Adams should win an Oscar specifically for her evil stepmother performance, as well as Giselle. Because that scene in the well when she's switching back and forth, seamless.
Amazing.
It's just spectacular work. Like the change in like the Morgan. It's so good. I don't think people realize how hard it was to like emulate Disney princess
without feeling weird.
Without it feeling theme parky.
Yeah, because like, there is like, and that's like part of the whole thing with us like liking it specifically because it's very Filipino. We know what doing it like a little too try-hardy would look like, and Amy Adams did not try very hard. She is just like amazing. It's very natural.
Yeah.
And then you get to the evil stepmother, Giselle, and you're like, what the fuck?
Mother? Sorry, what? Mother?
My dress is so low cut. And I'm like, yes, it's supposed to be. Girl. Jeanette was just like looking with lust.
I remember your reaction is like, SJ. I mean, you're not wrong, but shh. I love her peacock dress. I think that might have been my favorite
the
of
Disney
the
princess
evil stepmother
/
gowns.
Barbie. Isn't that like a Barbie Island princess dress?
Why wouldn't they put Amy Adams in Barbie?
I guess she's a little too old.
So?
For Barbie. I mean, she could get a role. I guess
she doesn't have to be Barbie. She can.
You know how
in the
like Buffy's actress was in Do Revenge or something like that.
Yes,
kind of like that. Yeah.
I would have loved that, but like, oh god.
But Rufa Mikito should have been Barbie.
Yeah. I honestly, when that happened, I thought it was real, and I was very disappointed that it wasn't.
Yeah, she would have been like.
She would have done it.
If
would have been good.
If Filipinos ever like came up with something like Enchanted, Rufa Mikito would be my first choice.
Yeah,
she can pull it off.
She can pull it off.
Her and Eugene Domingo would.
Yeah,
just like knock it out of the park.
Eat that up.
Yeah,
just eat it up. It's so good. Like people don't realize how hard it is to do the camp without it feeling fake as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when like we first watched Disenchanted together. I was just like, I don't know about the whole like thing with Malvina. It just feels straight camp versus gay camp. When Giselle does
the
evil,
PTA moms.
Yeah, when she does evil stepmother, that's gay camp.
That's gay camp.
But like Malvina and her like Goonies, no, straight.
There's just something about the way Amy Adams' voice changes. Like, the drawl. The drawl that Jeanette
when she does the joke, like the whole pose.
Yes.
With the wrists.
Yes.
I don't know. The way that she like does hand gestures is just so like very specific to Giselle.
It's so good. It's so good. And what I really liked with her evil stepmother is there were also traces of Susan Sarandon's performance from the first movie.
Right.
Which is fun because it's like, yes, give me some callbacks to OG or evil stepmother.
That's the thing though. This is like something that I put on a post that is like still like circulating right now for some reason. A lot of people like reblogging it on Tumblr. After we rewatched the movies like 3 times. But I did notice that even though Giselle was like full on evil stepmother, she still was not like full on. Like she was still very whimsical in her Giselle way that she can't really commit to stepmother, like evil stepmother.
I also think I think that's mildly because the actual Giselle was still in there.
Yeah, she was just like getting forced into the role.
Yeah.
Which is just like so cool.
It's so cool when main characters are forced into. You know what? That's fair because some of my favorite like episodes of Supernatural are when one of them is possessed or like
when they turn
like
evil.
a different
TM.
force. Yes.
It's like Superman becoming evil in the Justice League cartoons.
I think there's just something fun about like seeing someone who is so normally good and kind just be a bitch.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I love when they break character. I want to put them under a microscope. This is my genuine response to every single character I find fascinating. I'm just like, get under the microscope right now.
It's so fun. I generally think that Amy Adams at least deserves like some award for her work in both movies.
She was the producer for this recent one, which is not surprising because the fact that they focused specifically on Giselle and Morgan, on a film that she produced is also unsurprising because like a lot of Amy Adams' roles very recently, at least maybe like after the Alien movie with Jeremy Renner, after that one she was in a lot of roles with like characters that have a lot of like mommy issues.
Yes. Sharp objects.
Yeah, sharp objects. What was the other one? It was another sitcom, but like well, not sitcom, like another like series, but I don't remember.
Amy Adams sitcom.
Enchanted sitcom. True and real.
I would watch that so much.
Right? It makes sense.
Hey, Patrick Dempsey, you're not doing anything, right?
You're not busy, are you?
You're not on Grey's Anatomy. You have time.
But yeah, it makes sense that she's the one producing this, and also like that this is about moms because of the mommy issue characters that she. Yep. I guess she likes to do them. I do know she's a mom too. She has her
own mommy issues that she's working through.
I do know she's a mom too, so I feel like that like adds into it. Very there is a catharsis to like either acting out or like just creating something that can like let you examine something that you
look at the relationships that in a way that feels more comfortable.
It's giving you a safe space to examine these emotions that you can not do in real life without like implicating someone else. That's of
I know that feeling. Pointing, not looking directly at Dean Winter.
No, I've done that a lot of times with like a lot of fics that I've written in the past. Like, how many years have I been writing? Maybe 7 years now. Yeah. A lot of like the long projects that I do, at the end of them, kind of like have this sort of catharsis with like. I haven't dealt with the problem per se, but like I definitely now have more experience with it than I did before I finished this project.
See, that's why the fic that you wrote for me for my birthday was so good, because I'm like, you know what? It's cathartic to read these thoughts that I planted in SJ's brain and asked SJ to write. Because I was like, that's exactly my experience.
Oh.
And this is why, even though we're not in the fandom anymore, I still read it.
Oh, that is so nice. Holy shit. Thanks. Oh my god. I mean, I guess it does feed into the fact that, like, well, we don't really have, like, similar experiences with depression. I guess it's just, like, something a lot of people with depression kind of, like, reconcile with is the idea of, like, not really knowing when you're supposed to be happy or when you're supposed to stop feeling mad or something like that. Yep. It's a very hard thing to, like, measure.
Oh. Speaking of that, the scene in the first movie when she's like, I'm
god.
Angry.
That, like,
I'm angry.
Where you and Stess, like, have, like, a little bit of an obsession with the ball scene, that scene is mine.
That's your obsession.
I am obsessed with that scene. I love just, like, reading and writing arguments between characters that, like end up with something. Like, you end up with some kind of realization that you don't really know what it is just yet, but it definitely is there.
Oh, you would... I hate to say it, Wesley, you would write very good Dean Winchester gay realization fic.
Hello? I don't know, I haven't really written any,
I'm just gonna dangle that out there.
I'm not gonna do it. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not gonna make you do it in the first list. I don't even want anyone to watch the stupid dumb show.
No, I haven't really written any queer realization kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I've never done, like, gay epiphanies. The most I do is, like, realizing that, no, the problem isn't really me or them. The problem is that I don't know how to deal with the two of us, or something like that.
Yep.
It's that kind of, like, epiphany that I'm really, really, really interested in. So, like, when Giselle and Robert kind of had that moment of, like, Robert is just, like, engaging with her because he's a divorce lawyer, right? So he's just, like, trying to force her through this, like, realization that you don't have to subscribe to this idea that this guy that you're pining for is gonna come after you, because so far there is no evidence that it's going to end up that way. And he's just, like, telling her that, you know, he's telling her that because he doesn't want her to feel the heartbreak of him never having come at all. The longer they stay with her, the more he's just, like, concerned with her, like, well-being. And Giselle is just like, don't burst my bubble. What the hell?
She's like, this is my coping mechanism. What are you doing?
Let me deny myself. Okay? Stop making me face reality. I'm not ready yet. And I feel like that's, like, the first time she's ever had even just the agency to feel that.
Yeah.
It is just so amazing.
Good.
And, like, the morning after, she's wearing something that's a little less whimsy. It's still her, but it's a little, like, dressed down from the usual Andalusian Giselle. And then Edward comes a knocking, and she doesn't sing back. And it's just so good.
Yeah, the four lips are everything.
The way he mouths her lyrics is so funny.
It's so good, but, like, in terms of, like, the character stuff, it's so good. You know exactly where she is in that moment, and you're like, oh.
The way that they parted, too, because after that, Robert is like, holy shit, I like her.
yeah, and, like, Morgan's like, I'm gonna miss her, and then Robert's like, yeah,
me too.
I am too. When that happened, I was like, oh boy, he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. And this is something I like, pinpointed with the second film, because they do, like, have that consistency with Giselle's character. Specifically the fact that there's no turning back from being in love with staying in this family.
Yeah.
Like, she's being forced by, like, I guess, the plot to become something that she is not. And she, even though she's playing into it, is not very, like, she's not fitting into that role, because she's not really 100% whimsical Andalusian Giselle anymore. She's just Giselle, Robert's wife, fucking Morgan's mom, and she's from New York. She's a New Yorker now. She shakes her fists at taxis or something like that.
And that's why Jeanette is gonna kill her father, because she is a New Yorker.
God, Maya Rudolph, I did not expect her to just, like, burst into song like that.
I had forgotten she got cast, and I was like, oh shit.
I didn't even know she was the cast. I was just like, holy shit, it's Maya Rudolph. It's Judge Jen.
It's the judge.
It's just so odd to me that they casted her. I don't know if she has, like, a background in Broadway, or maybe I just know her from, like, stand-up comedy.
I remember you chatting, going, Maya Rudolph can sing?
Exactly! I didn't know that! Listen! I mean, Amy Adams
so
wasn't... Okay, this is something that my sister likes to tell me over and over. She forgets that she's told me this specific anecdote literally, like, 5 times already, but, like... she tells me every single time that, like, initially, Amy Adams wasn't supposed to be casted as Giselle, but the director insisted at the time.
Good choice.
Yeah, and she specifically trained herself to, like, just her pipes. Literally her pipes, man. Like, nothing has changed in the past, like, 15 years. She is just insane. That consistent. And her performance in every single film, and, like, in every single song that she's in, is just, like, Giselle through and through. It's so good.
It's so good.
Amy Adams! Give Amy Adams an award!
Give Amy Adams her Oscar already! God damn it.
Jeez. Can't a woman get anything in this industry? God forbid women do anything.
God forbid someone wins for a whimsical movie.
Literally.
God.
My nose is getting so clogged. This is so
Oh my
disgusting.
god, we should probably wrap it up then.
I just need to get this out. Oh.
Oh no.
It's clearing up. Holy sh... I'm getting better!
You're getting better. It's the magic of Amy Adams.
If I talk about Amy Adams for long enough, I'll become healthy.
It will clear up. Yes. You know what? I want James Marsden to be in the next Knives Out movie.
You and your, like, Knives Out movie.
Well, Glass Onion is called Glass Onion, a
And
Knives Out mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just... Oh, God.
It's
I'm so
coming
excited for Knives
out in 3 days.
It's coming out. Yeah. Aggressive happy taps. Just be going, ah! Do we have anything else to say about the masterpieces that are the Enchanted franchise?
When is the 3rd movie, and what's it gonna be about?
When's the sitcom?
Okay. I kind of don't want them to add another film, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I'm actually pretty happy with where they left off.
I mean, that's kind of like everyone's opinion of what the first film did. And, like, a lot of films are like that, where they will leave it off, so, like, they neatly tied a bow at the end. They got all the plot holes, blah, blah.
You know?
But, like, when you add another thing, you do have to make changes that will definitely make sense and will fulfill something and not just, like, you know, nostalgia evoking, which a lot of sequels fail to do. Like, a lot of sequels like to do, like Top Gun, if I remember correctly.
Apparently the Top Gun movie is good, but like, I haven't.
I've seen reviews of it, and I do see the comparisons made for how the first film was definitely gayer.
Oh yeah,
but the second film,
it's like saying that the first Point Break was gay. Yeah, the
it
remake is horrible.
No, but like a lot of sequels fail to actually uphold what the first film does, which is why a lot of sequels flop.
Yep.
Even
Except
in
Paddington
books.
2.
Paddington 2. Tried and tested.
In every single aspect.
Does the Dream Thieves count?
Yes,
Okay,
that counts. That's also another exception. If they were gonna make another one, I would love to see more about Andalasia. And Nancy trying to, like, live her life in Andalasia. Because, like, imagine going from, like, the modern world where there are, like, cell phones and laptops to a fairy tale world where things are sent by bird.
I mean, they do know what tech is in that realm, right? Because,
yeah, but, like...
she broke her phone in that first movie. I remember that specifically. I was like, oh, this is going to change everything in Andalasia immediately. It's like that idea of, like, time traveling to the past and bringing something that
my God,
no one has ever seen before.
That would be really fun if she was, like, the one pioneering all these inventions in Andalasia. Oh, I would watch that, actually.
It is weird to me that the Andalasians are the one going out of their way to visit and not the other way around. Why don't Giselle, Robert, and Morgan go to Andalasia?
Exactly. That's what I would like to see. And that's also, like, do it the way the Tangled series did it.
Oh, like the cell shading kind of style.
Yeah. They could do that.
They could.
I wouldn't mind that.
I do feel like that was like the part of the team that had the animation style for.
That was also what I was thinking of.
I do like the way they do the Tangled series more because of the textures that they have for.
I do too.
Yeah, bitches who love texture, and it's just a picture of you and me. We love a good texture in this household.
It's like chowder. No, the textures in chowder,
exactly.
Delicious. Nom nom nom.
and like flapjack or something. Holy shit.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So we have nothing else to say other than give Amy Adams her Oscar. Thank you.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. No, actually, we're no longer asking. This is a demand.
Well, do you think that Enchanted could make it as a musical?
Oh, actually, I would
actual
watch
stage
that. I
musical.
think that would be fun.
Right?
I think you could pull it off.
Like Enchanted and Disenchanted kind of musical kind of bit, you know?
Yeah.
You know how like Into the Woods does that
Act 1.
Act 1, Act 2 kind of thing?
Act 2. I think you could pull it off. Honestly, I think you could pull it off.
They do have the score for it. I feel like it could work. It'd be a good stage musical. I think, what was the last like Disney movie turned stage musical? Was it Frozen?
I'm pretty sure there's an Encanto one now.
Was it? Okay, that's fair.
Because I did see.
They missed the shot with Enchanted. That was a really good one. Oh my god, it's raining. We need to stop.
Okay. Okay. So what are we talking about next, SJ?
I don't know. This was my choice.
Oh yes. So, like we mentioned earlier, the next Knives Out movie is coming out.
Ooh, okay, I respect it.
So, next time on Secret Treehouse, we'll be diving into the Knives Out movies.
January
and Gab will
episode.
finally have seen Glass Onion.
Finally.
Because someone didn't do a theatrical release in the Philippines.
Fuck first world countries, guys. It's so stupid. Let us watch it.
Australia is so close, and they got the release, and we didn't.
Oh, it's so simple, Gab. Just hop on a plane.
I hopped on a plane to see Knives Out. So next month we will be talking about it's really pouring it down on SJ's end.
I know.
We will be talking about Knives Out, Glass Onion, Daniel Craig's amazing Southern accent.
Gay people.
That isn't really great. Gay detectives. Okay, so we are signing out
with this rain. What you just heard was a talk from the Secret Treehouse. Those were your hosts, SJ and Gab, and this was a production by The Playground. If you like that, please consider supporting us through the links found in the show notes. If you support us for as low as $6 on Ko-fi, you can get the whole uncut version of this episode. And if you want your name at the end of the episode, like at this moment here, you can support us for $10. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope we can get to hang out again.